Okay, so for the hair, the important thing with the hair, guys, is to not get too wrapped up in the fact that we have millions of strands of hair on the top of our head. So when we're drawing this, we're going to really be focusing on just sort of the chunks and the sections of our hair. And we're going to build it up like that, and then we'll deal with shading it and all that kind of stuff on another day. So this is just about drawing it. And we're just going to kind of, again, like I said before, draw it like in sections or in chunks, okay? I have zoomed out with as much as I possibly can. I'm going to kind of adjust this so you can see more of the top of my head. So what we're going to do first is we got to figure out exactly where the top of our head does need to be. So we're going to kind of remeasure. Now, remember, one of the things that we even talked a lot about on the figure drawing project was that your eye area is actually the midpoint of your head. So the idea is that you could take this area, so start from between your eyes to the bottom of the chin and add that much more up here to make the top. Do that again. So you're going to measure from the sort of right in between your eyes to the bottom of your chin, and then add that on top, like right here. So that's kind of changing where I thought the top of my hair would be. Because we want to make sure our eyes are in the center of our head. I need to do that again. My fingers are moving. There. Okay. And we drew our hairline the other day when we did our face shape, so we've got that kind of already started. So that's where the top of my head's going to be, okay? Now you do need to consider that, you know, your head still shows off to the side here of your ears. You're going to see it kind of behind your ears, but a lot of that's going to be covered up with hair. So I'm not going to really try to find that because that's going to get covered up. So, all right, so the first thing I'm going to do, and for a lot of us, we have a natural part in our hair. So that's the first place I like to start with, is that part. So I want to locate it, and then I'm going to draw it in. And I will go ahead and try to zoom in a little bit just to the top of my head so you guys can see this. So I'm going to try to find it. You may have to kind of move your hair a little bit so you can find it a little bit easier. But this is where you will see your hair changing the direction and where it grows in, so that's why it's really important to find it. So when I look at my part kind of aligns with my eyebrow over here. So I'm going to find where what it's aligned with, so I'm going to use plumb and level for that. And my part's going to start about right here. Now the thing about the part in your hair is that it's not a nice, neat, straight line. This is hair. We are in an organic living object, so it's not perfect. It's not going to be a straight line, and it's not going to go necessarily all the way straight back or straight off to the side. So what I'm going to do now is just kind of draw this in, keeping in mind where the top of my head is, because that's basically where it's going to stop. And I'm just kind of looking at how it curves, how it angles, and just where that is. So that's about where mine is. I'm just going to kind of play around with it until I'm happy with it. And then I can start from there. So with your hair, if you've got long hair, what you guys need to do, and I'll let you guys do this, is you need to show me at least one ear. Okay, so figure out what side of your hair you want to tuck behind your ear so you can see your ear. You have to show me at least one. The other one you can cover up on the other side. My advice for people with long hair is to put some of your hair in front of your shoulder and then put the rest of your hair on the other side, maybe the side where we see the ear behind your shoulder. So that way we just don't cover up a ton of our shoulders with our hair, okay? All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to start from my part and kind of work my way out. Now what I like to do is kind of break my hair up into basically like 3 sections, the front, the middle, and the back. So I'm going to start in the front, and then I'll work my way towards the back. And I'm going to start here at my part. So I'm going to kind of actually erase the line that I just drew, because where you see the part is where a lot of times you can actually see the skin on your head. So there's sort of a little bit of less hair right there. There's like a break in the hair. So I'm going to start with that. And I'm just going to start with this first front section. And a lot of people have this kind of swoop in the front, so I'm going to find that front section, and I'm just going to kind of draw that in. And I'm watching to see where it goes. I'm going to use my other facial features to help me do that. I'm also going to kind of erase this hairline a little bit to help me out with that, to make it a little bit more natural. And I will go into each one of these sections and just kind of try to find a few hairs to kind of use as guidelines for my contour lines that I'm going to draw. And then I also have some hair here that kind of overlaps my ear that I'm going to put into. So I am kind of erasing sections. So I'm just going to start with that. And then I'm going to go ahead and just kind of work even down here. Since I've got long hair, I'm going to work down here. And just kind of try to draw some of this in too. And I'm just basically going to work one section at a time. And again, I'm always surprised at how much sort of angle a lot of times you can find in even something like your hair. And I'm using things like my ear and stuff like that to just act as, you know, landmarks to help me figure out where I need to put this stuff. Zoom out on this a bit more. So that's about as far as I'm going to go with this one side of my head. I'm not going to go much further until I can get the other side. I want to kind of use that to help me bounce off of that. So again, when I'm starting over here on the other section, I'm going to kind of erase my hairline a bit. I'm going to start with the front. I'll show both ears. And again, don't get too caught up in the lines. Just kind of do the sections. Keep it simple. We're going to deal with the texture of the hair later. You also have to consider, too, that we're going to be shading our hair on a different day, so our hair is going to be slightly different. So you will be making adjustments. I'm still not going to put my earrings in quite yet either. I'll probably wait just to see what I'm wearing when I'm ready to shade. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you guys a few minutes to work on your hair, and then we're going to move on to the shirt. Even if you're not done with your hair, you can still move on to your shirt. Some of that stuff, they're related, they relate to each other, so it might even help you kind of get your hair done if you've got your shirt started already. So that'll be the next thing, but as you guys can see, I kind of just got my sections laid out. Didn't take too long, but just get it kind of figured out what the main sections are, sort of front, middle, back, and then I'll deal with the texture and the details and all the line work later, so that'll be a different day. So that's your hair.